Alright, good morning. Let's look today at Thinkcentral homework lesson 8.5. We are learning about customary units of measurement, and this time we're focusing on capacity or volume, how much something holds. This is probably the most famous picture ever done for conversion of units. You've got Mr. Gallon Man. So you have 4 quarts. 4 quarts makes 1 gallon. 2 pints makes 1 quart, and 4 cups makes 2 cups make a pint, or 4. So 4 cups in 2 pints, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon. This is a simpler chart, just showing 1 cup equals 8 ounces, a pint is 2 cups, a quart is 2 pints, and a gallon is 4 quarts. Also have this chart here for your reference. So make sure you refer to these throughout the lesson. Just scroll back and forth to figure it out. All right, problem number 1, they're asking you what fraction of 1 gallon is 2 quarts. So what they're saying is you have to kind of rephrase that. 2 quarts is equal to how many gallons? So when they say what fraction, it's kind of simple just to put that in that form. 2 quarts is equal. 2 quarts is what part of 1 gallon? And if you remember, there are 4 quarts in a gallon. So what I did is I did an equivalent fraction, both with quarts on top and bottom. So 2 quarts is 2 quarts, and 1 gallon is 4 quarts. So what fraction of 2 quarts is 1 gallon? Well, you can see that it's 2/4 of a gallon, or you can simplify that to 1/2. So 2 quarts is 1/2 of a gallon. For problem number 2, they're saying what fraction of 1 quart is 1 cup. So they're saying 1 cup is what fraction of 1 quart. So 1 cup over quart. You see they're not like units, so I need to convert them. I need to change both of them into cups. So 1 quart is larger than a cup, so I'm going from a smaller unit, the cup, to a larger unit, so I'm going to divide. 1 quart. So remembering, looking at the chart, you had 4 cups in 1 quart. So if 1 quart equals 4 cups, then 1 cup is the same as 1/4 of a quart. For problem number 3, they're asking you to convert cups into quarts. Again, we just learned that there are 4 cups in a quart. So you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. It means you're going to have to divide. So divide by a factor of 4. So 76 divided by 4 would equal 19 quarts. They're asking you to change 13 quarts into cups. We already know that there are 4 cups in a quart. So we are going to go from a larger unit to a smaller unit. We're going to multiply. Multiplying 13 times 4 gives you 52, so there are 52 cups, is equivalent to 13 quarts. Problem number 5, they're asking you to convert quarts into gallons. So a quart is smaller than a gallon, so you're going from a smaller unit to a larger unit. You're going to use division. Remember, there are 4 quarts in 1 gallon, so 8 quarts divided by 4 quarts equals 2 gallons. So 2 gallons is the same as 8 quarts. Problem number 6 is the same conversion. You're going from 18.5 quarts into pints. So it's important to remember how many pints would be equal to 1 quart. Looking at Mr. Gallon Man, you have 2 pints for every quart. So I'm converting a larger unit into a smaller unit, which indicates that I'm going to use multiplication. 18.5 times 2, I convert that into an improper fraction, 37/2 times 2 wholes. I can simplify. I can divide this side by 2, and can divide the denominator by 2, giving me 1 and 1. So that turns out to be 37 over 1. So my answer would be 18.5 quarts is the same as 37 pints. Basically, I'm just doubling the number. Problem number 7 is a conversion from gallons into quarts. So you have to remember how many quarts are in a gallon. There are 4 quarts in a gallon. You're going from a larger unit gallons to a smaller unit quarts. We're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply by 4. 12.5 times 4 can see the algorithm below here. I am going to simplify, cross cancel. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So just multiplying numerator by numerator, I get 50. So 12.5 gallons would be the same as 50 quarts. Question 9 is a multi-step problem. It's a little tricky because you're dealing with fractions. You have a 1/4 cup of water that you need for the recipe, but her measuring cup only measures in ounces, so you need to figure out how many ounces is 1/4 of a cup. She knows that 8 ounces is equivalent to 1 cup. A couple ways to do that is you can find the proportion, but another way to do it is say, well, if 1 cup is 8 ounces and she has 1/4 of it, then you know that she has 1/4 of a cup. So how much is 1/4 of 8 ounces? 1/4 of 8 ounces, well, how much is 1/4 of 8? And that would be 2. So if you go back to the original drawing, if you drew it and you knew the whole thing was 8 ounces, 2 is 1/4 of 8. So that checks out to be true. So she needs 2 ounces of water. And our final problem, problem number 9, again, it's a part whole model. Melanie and Brad, both of them, each drink 10 cups of water every day. Laura drinks 3 quarts every day. So this model shows 1 day's worth of drinking of water. The problem asks you to figure out how many gallons they drink in a week. So first thing we have to do is we have to change each of these into gallons. So you see I have 10 cups is equal to how many gallons, and 3 quarts is equal to how many gallons. Both of these are going from smaller unit to larger unit, so we're going to use division for all our problems. 10 divided by 16 is what Melanie and Brad drink, and 3 divided by 4 is what Laura drinks. So 10/16 plus 3/4 plus 10/16, those are the gallons, and when you add those all up, you get 20/16 for them, and 3/4 for that would be equal to 12/16. So together they would have 32/16 gallons of water, which you can see that 32 divided by 16 is 2, so that is 2 gallons for the day. And then you have 7 days in a week, so the answer should be 14 gallons for the week. So that's it for today. Just remember, you need a growth mindset to solve these. They're kind of hard. You have to use multi-step problem solving. And don't be afraid to draw pictures, models, and ask for help. All right, let us know if you have any questions.